Most people never think twice about what they wear to bed. They grab the usual short, the comfortable shorts, and call it a night. But there is a certain group of people who do something different, something most people either find fascinating or slightly shocking. They sleep with nothing on. And before you laugh or roll your eyes, science has something very interesting to say about them. If you are someone who sleeps naked, this video is about to tell you more about yourself than you expected. And if you do not, you might be reconsidering by the end. Here's the first thing nobody tells you. The way you sleep is not just a comfort choice. It's a window, a quiet reflection of how comfortable you are in your own skin, literally and psychologically. And people who sleep naked tend to share certain traits that have nothing to do with temperature or thread counts. Let's start with confidence, not the loud performative kind, the quiet kind, the kind that doesn't need an audience. Research shows that people who are comfortable sleeping without clothes tend to score higher on measures of body acceptance and self-image. They're not necessarily the most confident people in the room during the day, but when the lights go off and nobody's watching, they are completely at ease with themselves. That ease doesn't appear overnight, it's built, and it says something real about how a person sees themselves when no one else is looking. But here's where it gets more interesting. Studies on sleep quality consistently show that body temperature is one of the most powerful factors in how well you sleep. Your core temperature naturally drops when you fall asleep. Clothing, even light clothing, can interrupt that process. People who sleep naked fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling more rested. So while everyone else is fighting their sheets at 2 a.m., these people are already in deep sleep. Their habit that looks unconventional is actually working quietly in their favor every single night. Now here's the part most people never expect. Sleeping naked is also connected to how a person handles stress. People who are comfortable in their own skin without layers of clothing or protection tend to be the same people who are comfortable sitting with discomfort in real life. They don't need to cover things up. They don't need armor. What you see is what you get, and they're completely fine with that. That level of self-acceptance is rarer than most people realize. There's also a fascinating connection to relationships. Couples who sleep without clothes report higher levels of relationship satisfaction and emotional closeness than those who sleep fully dressed. Skin-to-skin contact releases oxytocin, the same chemical responsible for bonding and trust. So the simple act of sleeping naked next to someone is quietly doing something powerful for the relationship while both people are completely unconscious. Most couples spend money on date nights when the answer was in their bedroom the whole time. And then there's the personality layer. People who sleep naked tend to be less concerned with what others think of them in general. They make decisions based on what feels right for them rather than what looks acceptable to everyone else. They're not rebels, they're not trying to make a statement. They simply stopped performing for an audience that was never in the room to begin with. And that quality, that quiet refusal to live for other people's approval, shows up in every area of their life, not just at bedtime. So what does it all mean? If you sleep naked, you're probably more self-aware, more comfortable with discomfort, and more at peace with who you are than the average person. Not because of what you wear to bed, but because of what that choice quietly reveals about everything else. And if you don't sleep naked, that's completely fine too. But ask yourself honestly, what would it feel like to be that comfortable with yourself? Because that feeling has nothing to do with clothing and everything to do with who you are when nobody's watching. Subscribe if this made you think, because the next video reveals something just as fascinating about the psychology behind the habits most people never question.